So we're going to look at the Guitar Link audio interface. So I was on eBay just looking around for stuff the other day and thought I'd type in guitar interface because I've been looking for a little interface to connect with my laptop when I'm just laying in bed, maybe just want to play some licks, practice, whatever. I usually just lay there and play unamplified. I'm too lazy to plug into one of my little practice amps and have to keep getting up and changing settings, so I usually just lay there and play unamplified with the electric guitar, just practice some stuff. So I was looking for a little interface. Several people make some good small compact interfaces just for guitar. People like IK Multimedia, they make one. I believe Peavey makes one. Behringer makes one, and there's several more. A lot of the higher priced ones come with software, which I don't need. I already own so many guitar amp simulators, I don't need any more software for that. So I was just trolling eBay, seeing what I could find. Came across quite a few, and then this one right here caught my eye. Guitar Link. It's got absolutely no brand written on it anywhere. It looks a whole lot like the Behringer Guitar Link, but the thing that really caught my eye is that it was $13.54 with free shipping. So I figured, hey, I got nothing to lose. If it doesn't work, you know, 13 bucks, what's 13 bucks, right? So I ordered one on eBay from a seller called Emily and Lily, I believe. And there's some other sellers that also sell the same thing for the same price. Only took 3 or 4 days for shipping. Got it in today, and this is what you get. You'll notice it looks extremely similar to the Behringer version. It's got your USB light, so you can tell when it's connected. You have a high-low level for your input, clip indicator, your 1/4" input for your guitar, or I guess you could use a microphone as well. And you have your headphones, 1/4" as well. And then you have your volume, and of course the USB cable that's connected. So if we dig into the package further, it also comes with your little driver CD, and they're supposed to be ASIO compliant drivers for this Guitar Link. That's another reason I thought, well, let me test this out, because if it's really ASIO compliant, that means I can run Pro Tools with it. And also, of course, you get your little quick start guide. You can see there's no name on it, it just says nothing. What we're going to do today, we're going to plug it in, see if it works with maybe Guitar Rig 4, and then we'll try to launch Pro Tools and see if I can open up 11+RTAS in Pro Tools with this little $13 interface. So let's give it a try. So instead of headphones plugged into the headphone out so we can hear if this interface works properly, I'm going to use just a standard pair of PC speakers that I had sitting in my closet. So in order to do that, since the hookup for the speakers is an 1/8" and it's a 1/4" for the interface, I'll just use one of these handy adapters. Pop that in there, and we'll pop this in like that, and we'll see if it works. Alright, so I popped in the CD, and we can see that even though this interface isn't branded with the Behringer name, it is using the Behringer driver. So we'll come in here and click Setup, and you'll notice that the installer has stopped working. There is an error. So what we'll do is right click and choose Run as Administrator and see if that works. Alright, so that has seemed to work. So we'll go ahead and continue with our setup. Install the driver is what we want to do, so we'll choose that. Also note I'm running on Windows 7 64-bit. Alright, so now we have to plug in our USB audio interface. And we'll choose Install here. So instead of you having to sit through this whole installation process, a few more pop-ups come up that you have to choose Install. I'm going to go ahead and do that and then fast forward to the end. Okay, so all the drivers are installed now, and we'll choose Reboot and try this out in Guitar Rig 4. Alright, so I think we got everything hooked up and we got all the drivers installed. As you can see, I got the guitar plugged in here and the speakers plugged in here, and it's plugged into USB as well. First, let's try it out with Guitar Rig 4. Now normally I would screen capture and I'd get the sounds direct and put them into the video. But since this video really doesn't have anything to do with sound quality, I'll probably just use the microphone on the camera. So if it works, you'll be hearing the guitar sound coming from the speakers I showed earlier, and you could probably hear the air conditioner in the background. But once again, this is not about audio quality. This is just to see if it works. So let's launch Guitar Rig 4. So we have Guitar Rig 4 launched. You probably can't see it very well, but that's alright. Go to Audio and MIDI settings. And our driver's ASIO device is called Behringer USB Audio. As you can tell, this device, even though it doesn't say it's Behringer, it's using the Behringer driver. Sample rate's on 44.1. Latency looks pretty high. So since the latency is kind of high, we'll go in here and configure our ASIO. It's on normal now. We'll put it up to like rapid, maybe high speed. So output latency is 6, input latency is 2 milliseconds. Okay, so we'll try that. Then we'll just go into Guitar Rig 4 here and try to find a preset. So here's one called Slip Note Wide. So I wasn't getting any input, so I had to come back here and configure the input for the USB channel 1 there. Okay, so I think I finally got it set up, so let's see if it works. So there we are, this little $13 interface works. It's kind of noisy, but not a bad deal for 13 bucks. So now let's see if it works with Pro Tools 9. Okay, so here we are in Pro Tools 9. What I did was I came up to setup here, make sure the peripheral I chose was the Behringer USB audio. Launch the setup. Make sure the input is checked. Input channel 1. Rapid. That's alright. I go to high speed and above normal. Should be alright. We'll hit OK and we'll have to restart Pro Tools here. And now Pro Tools has relaunched. And I guess we'll create a blank session, I guess. We'll just choose OK. We'll just name this Guitar Link. So now here we are in Pro Tools, and we'll go to Track, New, and we'll get some mono tracks, stereo track, master fader, and maybe an instrument track. Alright, so now I have to set these up. Set up here, I/O, and I'll just hit default, and default. And default. That should be good. Choose the guitar in there, and for output, be 1, 2. Now we'll go here to plugins and choose 11. Okay, so after a bit of troubleshooting there, I think I finally got it to work right. So we have Boom open here. We also have 11. So what I had to do to make it work right is I created a new session. Since all my sessions are always 24-bit, I didn't even pay any attention to the 24-bit setting in the first session I created, which is why the sound wasn't correct. So I closed that session, opened a new session, and this one I chose 16-bit. So after choosing 16-bit, looks like everything works. So here's Boom. So you can hear that plays back just fine. Of course the sound quality is not good because again we're just using standard PC speakers. So now let's try the guitar. I already have the track record enabled. Turn the guitar up here. Make sure we see 11. You usually get that little buzzing sound there whenever you turn the volume off. I also have the gate raised so it goes off quicker there, as you can see. You can see it's kind of noisy, but then again the interface was just $13. So let's choose another amp here, say SLO clean.
You're going to spend $600 on Pro Tools 9. I'd spend more than $13 for your main interface. So don't rush out and buy Pro Tools 9 and say, hey, this is the only interface I'm going to need. Of course not, it'd be silly. But just for practicing, running through ideas. So I wouldn't be using it for anything professionally. This is not a professional recording interface. This is consumer. But for just practicing, you know, 13 bucks seems like a pretty good deal. So all in all, this little $13 interface, not a bad deal. Runs Pro Tools 9. It runs in standalone for Amplitude or Guitar Rig or pretty much any other standalone amp simulator. It's a good deal, 13 bucks. What do you want?